Ladies and gentlemen, I have to read part of this article because all I'm going to say is you can't make this stuff up, and I got to tell you, things are changing, and they're changing rapidly in the Middle East. Now, I know we haven't been talking much about the Middle East because of all the craziness going on with Russia and the Ukraine, but this is one story that cannot go by, and it is an article that has a very important title, and the title is this: Israel and UAE, that is the United Arab Emirates, finalize milestone free trade agreement. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, this free trade agreement is pretty important because Israel and the UAE have already established some form of normalization where they're doing about $600 to $700 billion in bilateral trading, and that is about to increase substantially. Now, I'm going to read you a portion of the article because it's a very important one. Let me read this, and there's a point behind this. There is a biblically prophetic point behind this, and it says this: the UAE and Israel formally established relations in 2020 as part of the U.S. brokered Abraham Accords that also included Bahrain and Morocco. Now, the latest agreement included 95% of traded products, which would be customs free immediately or gradually, including food, agriculture, cosmetic products for cosmetic problems. That's right. As well as medical equipment and medicine. The Israeli economy miserably, boy, sleep deprivation ministry said in a statement. Now, this is pretty amazing because let me read this to you. This is a very important one. I'm going to skip down to this paragraph. It says, a separate UAE statement said the agreement would substantially reduce or remove tariffs on a wide range of goods, enhance market access for services, and promote investment flows. Here's a quote. This is an interesting quote. This is the United Arab Emirates Minister of State for Foreign Trade. His name is Thani El-Zaidi. And he says this milestone deal will build on the historic Abraham Accords and cement one of the world's most popular and promising emerging trade relationships. Folks, in Ezekiel chapter 38, we read about a prospering nation of Israel that gets along with its neighbors, and there is an economic security that takes place which brings physical security into the picture, unwalled cities, unwalled fences, and then that's when we see Russia, as well as the conglomerate of nations that sees the prosperity of Israel, wants what it has, then attacks it. I don't know about you, but this looks like to me, God is setting things up for what we know is going to end up happening in the final days. Turn it on, folks. Get ready. Open up your eyes. Pay attention to what's going on, because guess what? Jesus is coming soon. And this stuff, well, you can't make it up. God bless you guys.